Okay, welcome back. Today I'd like to continue our series of Vulnhub. The virtual machine would be Empire LupinOne. I will add the link into the description section below so that you can download it. Before we begin today's video, if you don't mind, please subscribe to my channel and leave a like below. I do appreciate your help and support. So without further ado, let's just get started. To save time, I have already imported the virtual machine into the VMware workstation. So now we can go inside the Kali Linux virtual machine. As you can see, I have already identified the IP address of the virtual machine as 10.1.1.200. By the tool like Net Discover. And then I did the nmap scanning with the option like SceneScan, the virtual scan, the default script scan, and the last of all is comprehensive scan -p-, which stands for comprehensive scan or for range port scan. So from this nmap scanning result, as you can see over here, the two open ports. The first one is 22, which is running SSH service, and also the actual version information. As we know, this version doesn't have any vulnerability. The next one is 80, which is running HTTP service, and also the actual version information, including exact version number. And the Apache 2 doesn't have some sort of the vulnerability for us. But here, the nmap is saying there is one disallowed entry in the robots file. And of course, we need to see what it's about when we get there. So I think now we need to do furthermore enumeration for the 80 port. So now let's open up our browser. Let's put the IP address of the target into the browser. And I think this site has very simple image, and of course you can download this image into the Kali Linux, and then you can use some tool like stack hide, stack seek to see whether there is hidden message inside this image. But when I did this virtual machine the first time, I cannot find anything useful or hidden a message from the image itself. So I think we need to check the source code of this page. And here says there is one comment. It's an easy box, don't give up. But nothing interesting here. And then as we know, this site has a robots file, right? From the nmap scanning result. And here, there is one entry, and we need to access this directory. Although the server returns the error 404, but I think this is the content of this page rather than the status code, because if we check the source code, we have already got the response from the server without any problem, except the content inside this page is error 404. And also there is one comment, you can do it, keep trying. Then we need to use like a Nicto to make some enumeration. You know, Nicto is my first enumeration tool when I do the web application enumeration. Although Nicto can give us some result like a menu, like image directories, but such directories are default one, which cannot give us anything useful. Okay, and then we can use the GoBuster to do some directory enumeration. And the word list I'd like to use is GoBuster directory medium, and we can specify the extension option. Let's hit enter. I think from the GoBuster we cannot get some additional directories or files besides the very standard or default ones, like image, like a menu, like JavaScript. So I do not want the GoBuster to go on enumeration. To save time, I'd like to pause. And do you remember that here, I think this is some sort of hint given by the author. So maybe we need to fuzz this directory name, and we need to put this. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but anyway, we can use fuzz2. And we need to put this symbol first. And the word list, we use the same word list as GoBuster. Word list, GoBuster directory. Okay, let's run. A lot of outputs. We need to put the filter option, the word length, how many words we should be filtered out. Here is 31, and also I'd like to filter out the code. I think the code is, I need to, maybe it's okay. Let's hit enter to see whether we can find out the directory name. We just wait for this to be completed. I think it will not take a long time to do. Yeah, we got the payload or the directory name, which is secret, and then we can put secret. Yeah, here. Hello friend, I'm happy that you found my secret directory, and I also created like this to share with my crate SSH private key file. It's hide it somewhere here so that hackers don't find it and crack passphrase with fast track. I think this is, as we know, this is the word list. This is the default word list inside the Kali Linux, and we need to keep this into our mind when we get there. And I'm smart. I know that. Any problem, let me know. Your best friend. I think this should be username. We can make a note of this onto our mouse pad. So we need to go on fuzzing and fuzzing out this private key. And we can use the same tool. But this time, here, the directory is secret, and because the author gives us one hint, this file is hidden, so we put the dot in front of the fuzz. word, and then I think we assume the extension is txt file. And now we can, I think I configured this command correctly. Let's hit enter. I think I can filter out the response code 403. Let's hit enter, and to see whether we can fuzz out the private key file name. I'd like to pause the video, and then when it's done, and then I'll come back. After several minutes, I think we have already fuzzed out the name of a private key. So we can make a copy. I think, oh, okay, also we just type in my secret txt. Yeah, we got the content of this private key, but it looks like it's not standard private key information or data. You know, the standard private key in the front, there should be like begin private key open SSH, something like that. So I think the data is encoded. We need to decode the message first, and we can make a copy. So how to decode? We can use, or we can rely on the subchef to do that. You know, subchef is very, I think this is some sort of the Switzerland knife you need to use. And we can make a copy here, and we can try the base, maybe the base 64. But from the output, it seems like this algorithm or operation is incorrect. So we can try the next one, 58. Yeah, we got the correct output. Yeah, the first line is begin open SSH private key, and we can make a copy. Then we can create this private key on the Kali Linux by Vim, and we can paste in here, and we need to change mode or change privilege settings for this file. And of course, as we have already know that the username is ICX. Let's hit enter. Yes, but I think this private key is protected by passphrase, so we need to quit this login and crack the password or passphrase for the private key first. And how to do it? We can use the SSH to John 2 to convert the private key to hash format. And then we can use the John the Ripper, but this time we do not use the log queue as our word list. Because the author has given one hint which word list we should utilize for this process. So now I can, yeah, of course, as I have already cracked the password earlier, the John the Ripper will not crack it again, but we can use the show option to show the password, and this is the password. We can make a copy, and then we can log in to the target and paste in here. As you can see, we have already logged in to the virtual machine or target via SSH, and we can get the user flag here. And the next, we need to do some local enumeration, right? We need to get the root privilege after all. and then we can use the sudo. As you can see, we can make lateral movement to the user ascending without supplying the password of this user. And this one, we need to use the Python. Sorry about the noise. And this one, we need to check the first the content of this Python script. Yeah, I think we are i6 x64. We do not have the privilege to make a modification to this file. But if we cut the content of this file, yeah, I think this Python script will import a web browser, and I think this is some sort of the module, and open or browse this website. So we need to check whether we can find or locate this Python script or module, right? And we can find lim and the web browser. The star represents all different characters, and then it should be the file and redirect to the black hole. As you can see, yeah, there is Python script or module, if you can call it, and we can check the permissions to see whether we have a right to modify the content of this file. Yeah, we can, because every user can access and modify and also execute this file, this Python script, and we can cut this content of this Python script. Okay, I think we can use the nano to modify or insert the content. For example, here we can run OS system bin bash, and we can Control O to rewrite this file, and Control X to exit. Now we can run the sudo again, then we can sudo, but we need to specify the username to or ascending, and we just make a copy of this whole command. As you can see, we have already become or make lateral movement to another user, and we can go to the home directory. Yeah, we can cut the note. Nothing here, and we can then the next goal for us is to elevate our privilege to root user. And the first thing we need to check is whether this user can run the sudo. Yeah, we can run the sudo. We can run the pip command without providing the password of a root user. So I think now it's time to use the website GTF opens, and we can put the pip command and the sudo. Here, this section give us the instruction or steps how to elevate our privilege to root user. So we just make a copy. We do not need to type in every command, and then we can copy the second line and paste in here, and then the last one paste in here. Okay, from the banner, the pound banner, we can know that we have already switched our shell to root user. Then we can navigate to the root directory, and then we can get or retrieve the content of the root flag here without any issue. Okay, so that's it for this virtual machine. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.